We got Conquest, the Viltrumite, Crashout from... If y'all didn't see this season of Invincible, I just want to let y'all know it was peak.
Every season of Invincible, a Viltrumite pulls up at the end of the season
and
whoop
shows Mark
all of us
ass.
Mark should change his name from Invincible because he gets beat like he's nowhere near Invincible.
Bro, every time.
Every time. Beat him within an inch
Oh,
of his
did him
life
dirty.
in season
Did
1.
him dirty.
Anissa beat him so hard that
Anissa,
a punch
oh
from her
my-
shattered his goggles
bro.
in season 2. But boy, this season Mark got dragged by the biggest crash out of all the Viltrumites.
my
This
life.
man is so terrifying that other Viltrumites won't be his friend because he's too unstable.
Yep.
A race of warriors that weeded each other out
Yep.
to only keep the strongest.
The strongest,
scared
bro.
of him. He don't even have a real name. They named him
Conquest.
after his job because
Conquest,
he's just
bro.
that good at it. And gave him a goddamn infinity gauntlet. Coming in at 100% lean muscle.
A new
chaos,
foe has
and
a
debauchery.
beard.
Ladies and gentlemen, today I present to you Conquest.
Hey, look.
And this is his story.
So I'm not all the way like familiar with, like, I watched the show, right? I know a little bit about the lore through comics and stuff like that. So I knew Conquest was gonna eventually come and they're gonna eventually fight. Just like I know, you know, what happened with him and Anissa, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, that's coming up. You feel me? So when Conquest pulls up, I'm like, bro, like, mind you, because the season started and Cecil was like, bro, he's like X amount stronger, he's X amount faster than the last couple months or whatever the case is. So I'm like, okay, Mark finna like at least be a little decent at this point. Bro, no, Mark was getting whooped, bro. Like when he went to the jail and it was like all them Invincibles, bro, you getting whooped by yourself. And you're supposed to be the strongest Invincible. But anyway, so at the point when Conquest comes in the show, Mark was just like, bro, it's not the time, bro. Like, it's not the time for this. Like, I'm not in the mood. And then Conquest was just like, bro, I don't really care what you're talking about. And like the way the fight started, you thinking Mark finna like, he finna come with it, bro. Mark was getting whooped, which is not the surprising part. The surprising part is the fact that he talked trash and started getting whooped. But this was also peak in the season. Let's go.
So we start right after the Invincible War while Mark is out helping cities to recover. And while he's over there wallowing in his own self-pity, Conquest pulls up and is like, stand ready for these hands, boy.
You feel me?
And Conquest came in, stanced up with a glove already in a fist.
On my
But
life.
What he didn't know is that all Mark wanted to do was hit something as hard as he could. But what Mark didn't know is that Conquest started smiling because unlike Anissa, who came trying to talk and be reasonable, even though she was about to pop this girl's neck, Conquest came here for one reason.
He want them
and that
hands.
was strictly to beat anything that could make a fist.
On
so they
my
start
life.
scrapping, and the force of their punch is enough to
Like, it starts
shatter
off
buildings.
so
And
good.
thank God Powerplex ain't out here, because we all know he'd be over here ready to spread the word of Invincible slander, because
Facts.
once again, a city is getting leveled
No,
by a
facts.
Viltrumite fighting Mark.
Facts.
So
Okay,
obviously-
look. I'm gonna let my boy talk just real quick. The only thing I didn't like about, and granted, you know, it's comics, it's comic accurate. The only thing I didn't like is the fact that this is exactly what we seen when in the first season when Omni-Man and him was fighting. Like, it's literally the same thing. You know, they start like it is casualties, cities getting leveled. That's the only thing I didn't like. But the fight was crazy, bro. Like, just it was because it's not just hands the whole time, bro. Like, they throw hands. Conquest come with the speeches, bro. Like, oh my God. And then, fun fact. So the guy who plays Invincible, Stephen Wynn, he was in The Walking Dead, right? He played Glenn in The Walking Dead. If you know, you know. Jeffrey Dean Morgan, who played Negan in The Walking Dead, also voices Conquest. So this is actually like a part 2 on the cool. Like, y'all gotta, I don't want to spoil that for y'all, but yeah.
Like every other time Mark fights a Viltrumite, he gets put on his back.
Every time.
This guy's a great big phony.
Every
And
time.
Conquest is just standing over him like, you see, boy, Anissa would probably be telling you how we could turn this place into a utopia. How you be crazy to
I
resist.
ain't trying to hear
But the
none of
truth
that.
is, boy,
I ain't trying to hear none of
I
that.
want you to resist. I ain't here to spread peace. peace. I'm here because the warmth of blood on my fist excites me.
Literally.
You're a victim.
And in the middle
Literally,
of his
bro.
monologue, Mark slams the man through building after building just to somehow still end up
Still
with
get-
the man's
bro.
hand around his neck.
Bro, I was
Big phony,
bro,
you
I
know
was
that?
yelling
Now,
at the screen, bro.
Conquest is excited. The man blood is boiling. He wants that action, and Mark proceeds to start punching this man so much that they end up in space. But this is where I knew that I was not familiar with Conquest game.
Yup.
Because the man
Yup.
is smiling at Mark. He just loved that he in the game. And then he proceeds to make a spit bubble
On my life.
of his own
On my
blood,
life.
shapes it into a heart to show that he loves this shit for real, and breaks it just to proceed to try to meteor slam Mark back into
And
the earth.
bro.
But luckily, this season, Mark is a little stronger. So he stops himself from being choke slammed back into the earth. But notice how I said a little stronger.
A little.
Because Conquest proceeds
Literally.
to punch that man so hard that he sleeps him through another building. And I don't know if we even in the same city at this point. All
Oh, my
I know
life.
is
Oh,
that
my
Mark
life.
is over there getting waxed.
Bro, that is
So
what I'm
Mark's
thinking.
family is at home watching him get bodied on live television.
Oh, and then-
Shout out to the
No, I don't think his
cameraman.
brother-
And Oliver
he do go.
decides to try to run his happy ass
No,
over
he-
there
no, he
to
don't.
help Mark. And I can't even fault Debbie because, I mean, if Oliver didn't show up, Mark probably dies like right here. But Oliver definitely ain't nowhere near
He
ready for this deal.
did. Oh, I forgot he did show up and Conquest was working his ass. Oh, I remember. Oh, bro, yeah, it was no point of Oliver going. Oh, my life. It was no point. I still didn't get it. It was no point of Oliver going, bro. And then the thing was, you would think that when Oliver... All right, I'm sure... let me...
He think because he helped drop one of them invincibles that he can stand up to a real Viltrumite.
Oh,
And you know what?
The
Goodness,
more you
bro.
fuck around,
You gonna find
the more
out.
you're gonna find out.
So Mark is over there trying to get up and recover. Man is coughing up blood. He know he in over his head.
Bro.
But unlike Omni-Man,
Bro.
who at least stopped and talked a
No,
few times trying to convince
Conquest.
Mark
Oh, my
to join
goodness.
the Viltrumites, Conquest came in like a speeding bullet and blitzed Mark so hard that he leveled the city.
Yep.
And Oliver
Bro.
really flying in watching this like he about to do
Bro.
something. Youngin, you not ready.
Nope.
He literally watching Conquest ping pong Mark around the world and drag him through city number 3.
Like, if he doing that to
into an
Mark,
exploding tanker.
what you
And
think he gonna do to
think
you?
You can do anything
Bro.
to stop this dude.
Bro.
Come
bro.
on, man.
Come
So
on,
as
man.
Conquest is speeding toward him, trying to continue the slaughter, Mark tries to reason with him.
Facts.
But before the man can even get a word out, Conquest grabs him by the
Bro.
mouth and says, "Do you think your name Naruto, boy? You think you can talk no jujutsu your way out of this? I'm having the time of my life. Now look, boy, listen. Don't give up. You can still do this. Just throw them hands. Was that a fly that hit me? Somebody hand me my swatter."
Bro. Bro. Slumber.
Boy, he hit Oliver so hard he bounced off the concrete in rotation. And I don't even feel bad for him because I told him.
The more you fuck around,
The more
the
you
more you're
find
gonna
out.
find out.
So Mark
Bro.
is trying to tell Oliver to go home.
Like, literally
Oliver
leave.
is
You're in the
convinced
way.
They can beat him. Even after he just served that man like a volleyball. And while Mark is over there trying to get Oliver to leave, Conquest blitz Mark through more buildings and starts asking him where his heart at. Man
Facts.
sounded like Thor when he was fighting Kratos. So Mark proceeds to headbutt the man at full speed and then
Hey, I ain't gonna lie.
teeing off.
I ain't gonna lie. I thought the headbutt was like kind of cool. I ain't gonna lie, bro. Like, cause the thing is, like, we can't cap like Mark isn't strong. Like, let's be real. He is strong, but I think that's like when you're on a job, right? And you got people that's been there way longer than you. You're never gonna be as good at the job immediately. Now, what you can do is learn newer ways to be good at the job, because it's a fresh experience, right? But you're never gonna be as good as the people that's been doing it for years. You're gonna still have to ask for help. It's the same case when it comes to Mark and the other Viltrumites. Like, yes, Mark is a Viltrumite, 100%, 100%. But they've been Viltrumites for thousands of years, bro. You just found out it was a Viltrumite within the last year or so. Like, it was no way he thought this through, bro. So when this, bro, it was, but he was showing glimpses. He would show glimpses of like, okay, Mark, yeah, you done got shown for sure. But then I'm sorry.
Off on the man in the middle
Let me stop
of the
talking.
street, beating that man face in. But the scariest part about this,
Conquest smiling.
Conquest ain't even phased. He eating them punches for breakfast, lunch.
Didn't he break?
and
I think he
dinner.
break Mark's
And while
arm.
all this is going on, Cecil is over there panicking because Conquest could beat Omni-Man and Anissa, and he is dragging Mark. And Eve wakes up from getting beat in the Invincible War, and after seeing what Conquest over there doing to her man,
she go
alpha blood
straight
too,
up,
because Conquest
straight up
is over there slinging Mark around like a rag doll through buildings, slamming him into the ground. And while he busting Mark's head in, bodies is dropping in the midst of all of that.
Facts.
That man
Bro.
was over there like,
That's too easy.
and after he drags Mark, he tells him that the only disappointing part about all this is that he won't be able to see the look on his dad's face when he tells him that he killed him.
You're a victim.
And this is where Oliver is about to finally find out. Because he comes in and kicks Conquest off of Mark and still believes that just because Conquest is old, that they can jump him and win.
Negative.
And Mark, being the
Keep
only
saying
smart
go.
one over there,
He's like,
still
leave.
trying to tell him,
Leave,
get
bro.
up out of here. You not built for this. So in the middle of Mark trying to convince him to leave, Conquest blitzes Mark again and pimp slaps him into a building, telling him to take a break, and then proceeds to hit Oliver so
Boy,
hard
he
that
whooped
he
Oliver
spitting up
ass,
blood
bro.
and most of his teeth. Oh hell no! And then he grabs Oliver,
he whooped
and is
Oliver
about
about to rip him in
half,
half,
and
bro.
while he is pulling him apart. He says, I wonder what your heart tastes like, boy. I'll find out after I rip your rookie ass in half. You thought you was built for this, huh? Now look at you, crying for mercy. But you want to know the plot twist, youngin'? Mercy fears me.
Boy, ain't no way, boy.
And as Oliver is about to get turned into
Eve
Mark's
come.
half-brother,
No.
Mark
Mark
blitz
come.
Conquest
He come back.
and leaves Oliver over there fighting for his life. Next time, when we tell you go home, take your ass home.
No, facts,
So as Conquest
facts.
is over there skipping Mark across the
This
water.
is where Eve
he
come
does
in.
something to Mark
Yeah.
that I can only compare to the train scene in season 1, but worse. Because he grabs Mark by his neck and speeds through the beat so
and
fast
kill,
that
bro. Everybody,
gets ripped from the force of Conquest.
Everybody left no survivors, literally. And it's just it's wild because you see how savage Conquest is, bro. Like I mean, granted, Omni-Man didn't care either, though. Don't get me wrong. But like with this, you see the people, right? You see the people, and they don't know what's going on, right? They don't even really realize like what's finna happen. And then you have a little hope because you like, it's a superhero show, you know what I'm saying? Like, they ain't gonna do that. They did it. They did
Is
it.
coming through. Oh my God! Everybody,
Everybody,
dead. And
bro.
then right after this, he drags Mark through city number 4, slams Mark through building after building and person after person.
Oh, my
Conquest
life.
had
Oh,
at
my
least a
life.
200-person kill streak in a matter of 5 seconds.
Oh, my
But boy,
life.
this next body was not about to be pretty, because after Mark finally gets Conquest off of him, Eve shows
Yes.
up to
Oh,
help Mark.
bro.
Remember what happened to her like yesterday?
Her leg, bro.
So Mark is staring and getting sad because he knows that Eve definitely not built for this. But just like when Conquest slapped Mark into a building to whoop Oliver, he breaks
He do the
man's
same.
legs
Yes, he do
so
the
he
same
can whoop
thing,
Eve.
bro.
That man hands is
Literally.
ready for everybody.
Literally.
Eve was giving that man a run for his
On my
money.
life.
I
On
mean,
my
I
life.
never thought she would win, but she was beating that man with them pink weapons. Girl even put on a Power Ranger suit specifically to beat his ass. But, it's Conquest. And when he finally gets his hands on Eve, he surgically removes the suit from her body, busts the mouth off that girl, and then rips her stomach out in front of Mark.
Bro.
He just killed Mark's woman in front of his face. And while Mark is crying because he just lost the love of his life, this man Conquest is over there licking her blood off his hand like it's a
savage.
trophy.
So savage, bro.
But this is when Mark has
He get
a
that Gohan moment. Yes.
Man
Yes.
levels up to Super Invincible and tells that man, and I quote, "I don't care how strong you are. I don't care how fast you are. I can see the future, and you don't live to see tomorrow."
Yeah.
And after
That boy
he
finally,
says this,
hey.
he charges at Conquest and punches Conquest Infinity Gauntlet so hard that it shatters his hand and the goddamn gauntlet, and then proceeds to tee off on that man with a broken arm and leg. Mark then channeled his inner Midoriya, and in the middle of
I ain't gonna lie though. This was a fire part too though. This is a fire part, bro. Like Mark is literally putting his body on the line and is working Conquest, bro. Like that was interesting. And then it's because I mean, obviously it's a cartoon, so it's not realistic. But I feel like this was a realistic depiction of what would happen in an unrealistic situation, if that makes sense. Because you see, like it ain't like Mark is like acting like he's unfazed by what is going on. He punched Conquest's arm, his Mark arm out of there. You see him flying, like you see this, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, like you see it, like he's fighting with his limbs messed up, bro. I thought that was fire, bro. Like it's just detail.
Of Mark laying into that man, Conquest grabs him and tries to stop him, and I kid you not, Mark beat the man off. Mark has gone goddamn feral. So Mark is over there scrapping with Conquest, and in the middle of him beating Conquest's head into the dirt, he notices that Eve has started to transcend space and time over there. Girl done turned into pure energy. But while he noticed it, apparently Conquest didn't. Because Conquest puts him on his back and then starts giving him his life story.
I am lonely, boy. My people won't even talk to me because they scared of me. I conquer. I kill.
It was a fire monologue, though. Let's be real. It was fire.
Empire, and they won't even be my friend because I'm too unstable. Too crazy. I can't even have my own name. My name is what I'm good at. I could cry, but nobody would care. So you know what, boy? Take that to your grave with your daddy.
And right as he's about to kill Mark, Eve blasts the clothes and skin off him. And you know what? That wasn't even enough to kill him. The man is literally a monster. So Mark starts punching him in his face again.
So before, because it's finna be the end. Before we get there though, let's talk about Adam Eve, bro. Adam Eve. So we still fairly early in Invincible. It's a lot that happens in Invincible, bro. Adam Eve is probably one of the strongest characters in the whole series, bro. The woman's name is Atom Eve. Though she can literally materialize matter. Literally. She can create matter, bro. So you like, and don't get me wrong, because like I said, I'm familiar with the comics, but I'm also not. Like I ain't gonna sit here and say that I just read everything. No, I've skimmed through some. I've read through different types of stuff. So although mentally or subconsciously I knew that Eve was gonna live, at the time I'm like, bro, because you know that's what they do when they're adapting something from literature, they tend to switch up stuff. So at the time, I'm like, I know they didn't kill Adam Eve, bro. Like my jaw was on the floor. And then once they showed her and she was energy, I was like, okay, duh, like what the hell?
And Conquest breaks his
other arm. Yep. And he
starts
using his head.
Because you know what Mark does in the midst of all of this? He headbutts him over and over and over again until the man was looking like Angstrom at the end of the last season. And that was the end of Conquest. And you know what? Mark finally beat a Viltrumite, got some Eve cheeks later that night.
Hey, on my life.
He got to start killing folks who harm his loved ones. Wait, he ain't dead?
Nope.
Anyway.
Nope. He's not dead. Conquest is not dead. And, well, he's on the brink of death. You know what I'm saying? Cecil's keeping him alive on that little machine or whatever the case is. But, yeah, bro. Conquest came and was on that time, bro. Like it was getting real sticky for Mark, bro.